Absolutely, yeah. We talked about it for 2 weeks, really, about they're a 6-1 team, we're a 6-1 team. Number one scoring offense in the league. Create a lot of turnovers, great on special teams. That's a really good football team right there. Very hard to defend. Very hard to score a lot of points against. They're one of the top defenses in our conference as well. Hard-fought game tonight. Second half coming out, getting the turnovers, I think is huge. It's typically if you can win the turnover battle, you have a chance to win the game. I think we had 2 tonight, maybe. I think we turned the ball over twice, 2 picks maybe, and I think they maybe had 3. I'm not sure, but defense stiffened up down there on the goal line, which was huge, and offense came out in the second half. We couldn't convert any third downs in the first half, and they were converting all their third downs. So it seemed everybody was a little down at halftime, but it was only a 10-point game. 10 points, you should be able to overcome. And so really proud of our team. The resiliency that they have and the belief that they have and the way they just keep playing hard and end up making plays. I'm very proud of the staff and the team.
Speaking of the second half, Coach, Mikey Keene looked like he got into another groove, really got settled in. What was the big difference there?
Well, we started doing a couple different things. That defense plays so many different defenses, right? And so you have to identify coverages that you're seeing, and and I thought Coach McCann called a good game in the second half of trying to hit some seams, and then Mikey threw them on time on the seam because we were checking some down early in the game that were getting tackled for 2-3 yard losses because they were dropping 8 guys out, so there's not a lot of space to throw the ball, and sometimes they're in the seams, and so we were fortunate to be able to hit a couple seams in the second half.
And what makes Jalen Moss the right kind of guy to run those seams and make those catches? He made a couple of those tonight.
Yeah, well, Jalen Moss, pretty much any of our guys, could do that. He just happened to be the guy that was doing. We have a lot of faith in him. We have a lot of faith in all our receivers, really.
Moss is a freshman, though. This is a guy that's showing a lot at a very young age.
Yeah, he's a redshirt freshman. He's been here. He's been here for a year. He's not a true freshman. He's a little seasoned now, and we're in whatever week we're in. So he's worked really hard, and he's a dependable guy for us.
And Mikey's a pretty seasoned sophomore too, right? A third-year sophomore. And you talked about the improvements he made from the first half to the second half. Did you have a conversation with him at halftime about not checking those passes down?
No. It had nothing to do with shaking him up, telling him to do something different, whatever. It's just, okay, we're dialing into what they're playing. Because I'm not kidding you. If you watch each game that you watch them play, it's something. It's a flavor of the week. It's totally different. So you never know what we're going to get, and so it was very difficult to prepare for them. And but I thought when we hit a couple seams going down the stretch there, and then the big one to him when he scrambled to the right, we had a double move and they lost Moss down the sideline. But yeah, he hung in there, threw the ball away when he needed to. I thought Mikey played a very sound game. For having kind of limited reps of practice because, he's coming off the injury. So we're trying to give them even reps. He really didn't get, when the starter's a starter, he gets most of the reps. Well, he was still coming back mentally on, and this was kind of the wrong team to do that with so many different looks, So there'll be places where we can look and say, possibly we could have done this or should have thrown the ball here or whatever. But the important part was, the last slant to get intercepted, I don't really think that was his fault. We stopped running the route, and that guy did a nice job, but he read it perfectly and threw a nice ball, and the guy just made a great play.
And your defense made great plays, too. Talk about the resilience of this defense to be put to the coals not just once but twice in a goal line situation and come up both times.
Yeah, no doubt. Our defense has done that all year, and they're very stingy down there. Stopping them down there was great. and then them getting back down there again, and here it comes number 6 again, to make another interception, when the game's on the line, So, but the guys played really hard to stop that run game. They're really difficult to stop all the different facets of the run game. The inside run, the option piece. They got a lot of moving parts in that offense. So, really proud of our defense for stepping up in the second half. First half, I don't know what the third down percentage was, but they must have hit on almost every third down, when we had them in third and long. And it was because their quarterback was scrambling and finding holes, right? It wasn't like necessarily designed plays. Their quarterback made a lot of good plays.
Coach, what can you say about the availability? Like, he keeps doing this in the big moments, again and again.
Well, he's a great player. He's not just a great player physically, but he's very football intelligent. And reads things very well, understands by formation what they're going to do, things like that. And you're not at the right place at the right time by accident, right? I mean, there's times where you understand what's happening, you have a really good feel for the game, and obviously he has a great feel for the game.
UNLV's offense has been really potent the last several weeks, but in the second half they only scored 7 points. Was there something that dialed down specifically that led to that effort?
Well, I think we simplified things a little bit on defense. I got to look at the tape and talk to Coach Coyle, but I know the halftime talk was about trying to simplify some things and make sure our guys are in the right spot, because we were really doing a nice job on the inside run game. We were stopping the inside run game pretty well. They creased us a couple times in the fourth quarter down the stretch off tackle, but the inside type zone we were doing a nice job of stopping. I think the main thing was their boots. When they would boot and they throw the crossers and things like that. It's hard to stop every single piece of their offense. They do a really nice job of what they do. That's why they lead the league in scoring. That's no accident. But yeah, I thought our kids played really, really hard, tackled really well tonight, I thought. And that was one thing going into the game that we worked on through the week, of making sure that we tackled better in the open field. And I don't know, off the top of my head, I can't think of a missed tackle tonight. Now, maybe I'll see one or two on the tape tomorrow, but in the open field, I thought we did a nice job of wrapping people up and not letting them break tackles for big plays.
You saw Coach Sweeney and Coach Hill tonight get inducted into the Ring of Honor. What's it like following in their legacy as among the great Fresno State coaches?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Those two are the great coaches. Coach Sweeney is the godfather of Bulldog football, without a doubt, and I've said this numerous times. They couldn't have passed the torch to someone any better than Coach Hill. What he sacrificed and what he's done for this valley and for this program, it's about time. I'm so happy that he was honored tonight. I'm really happy we were able to pull out a win on his special night. But Coach Hill's a special guy. He talked to the team on Friday night and said great things. But the thing about Coach Hill, it all comes from the heart. I mean, it really does. I mean, he's a part of this community. It means so much to him, and he has done so much for this program. Awesome person. He's Bulldog born, Bulldog bred. There's no doubt about it.
Right. 0 points in the second quarter, 24 points in the first quarter, and then again 0 points in the fourth quarter. Well, why is consistency such a struggle?
Well, you know what? I don't really know. All I know is you have to score one more point than the other team. And I've said this before, they get scholarships too, and they're very well coached too, and it's very competitive. You're just not going to run up and down the field on people. It's just not the way it works. You got to find a way to win. And, to be able to come back in the third quarter and get explosive, That was great. That was partly because the defense turned the ball over down there as well. But, you know, you're not – I mean, at least we're not. We're not running up and down the field on everybody all the time. You know, I mean, those teams are good teams. That's a 6-1 team we just played. They're going to have their times too where they're successful. And they do an excellent job. And we found a way to win tonight, and that's what the most important thing is. I'm so proud of our staff. You know, we talked to the team last night about how proud I am of these guys because we talk about purpose plus preparation plus commitment. I don't really think people understand the commitment that these kids have, that they're here every morning at 6:15, and they practice up until we go to meetings and practice up till 10:45, and then they go to school, and then they're back to look at the film, and every single day it's that. Every day. You know, and the commitment that our kids have, and our staff, by the way, when something like this happens, you're even that much more proud and happy for them because the commitment that our kids have is second to none. And so when we win games like this, they've earned it. They deserve it.
All right, last question over here.
UNLV had some success running the football. Boise State is coming into town next week. An emotional win this week, another tough game next week. They outgained Wyoming quite a bit on the ground. How much focus is that going to be this week in planning to make sure the stop the run is very, very clear?
Well, give me about 3 hours to enjoy this one. I didn't watch that game. I make a point of never, if it's on TV, to watch our opponent while we still have a game to play. So I don't know what happened in that game, but I'm sure over the next couple days, after watching hours and hours and hours of film, we will try to come up with a plan. But we have a tremendous amount of respect for Boise State. Obviously, we played in a lot of, you know, we played in championship games against Boise. You know, it's always tough. They're a great football program. There's no doubt about it. I don't know what they did. We'll have to look and find out because they're really good on both sides of the ball as well. So we're going to have another tough challenge, and I'm happy we're going to be back at home for it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
What was the big difference defensively, especially towards the end?
Yeah, I think just as a defense, we came together. We were stopping on first and second down, struggling on third downs, and it was just about execution. So we gelled together, bonded together, and made that a priority in the second half.
This looked like a very unorthodox UNLV offense. I mean, they ran a lot of like exotic 2 running back sets. It's called the go-go offense. I mean, was it hard to like for the scout team to mimic this kind of offense? And then how hard was it to get adjusted to that offense right away?
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge for our scout team guys. Such a unique offense, but they did a great job all week giving us a look. So shout out to them. They make us better each and every day in practice. And once we got the looks from the scout team, bringing it out to the field, I think we did a really good job against the run game.
The moment Comstock got that punt recovery, I mean, in your mind, are you thinking like, you know what, like the momentum's on our side?
Yeah, that was huge. Huge for him. Love the guy. Huge play for us. Got the momentum swinging our way.
Talk about taking Cameron Bracco under your tutelage and seeing him play alongside you and guiding him along.
Yeah, I love Cam. He's a hard worker. We both came in at the same time, and I remember I sat down right in the front, and he sat down right next to me. So for 2 guys to come in and take that role, I'm really proud of him, and he's doing a great job.
And for a walk-on to play a lot as he is, what is he doing in practice and on the field to earn that?
Yeah, he's earned every snap he's gotten, and he shows up day in and day out, and he performs. So.
And overall, your first interception as a Bulldog. talk about what led up to it and what you felt the defense did overall well in the second half?
Yeah, first I just want to give glory to God because He gave me the ability to make that play on the field. And then in the first half, I got a couple of passes. I should have made a play on the ball, so I was more eager to find the ball and to make that play and get my guys off the field and get a swing of momentum was huge.
Defensively, the first half seemed to be a little bit of a struggle. The second half, you guys seemed to kind of put it all together. What happened at halftime to kind of get you guys riled up? And obviously, that muff punt that kind of gave you guys an opportunity to get back into the game. But defensively, what changed?
Yeah, like I said, we were just struggling on third downs, not executing properly. So once we settled down and knew that it was on us, they weren't beating us, we were beating ourselves with execution. We settled down, started making plays, and that's how we started winning.
How difficult was it to defend that run attack that UNLV presented? Because it looked very, very difficult from up on the bot, so definitely on the field. Yeah,
it's really unique. You have to have disciplined eyes. You have to be disciplined in all parts of your run defense, stay in your gap, and our guys did a good job of that, and we were pretty successful.
And then what was the message from the coaches at halftime? Because you guys came out in the third quarter and played arguably your best quarter of the season. So just like, what was the message at halftime?
Yeah, like I said, it was just execution. Coach Cole came and talked to us, talked about the third downs, talked about the plays we were giving up, and all it was about doing our jobs. They weren't beating us, we were beating ourselves, so we just need to settle down and execute.
Another crowd of 40,000+ people. What's it like playing in front of the Red Wave?
I love it. I love it. The crowd, I mean, I think the Red Wave knows how much energy they give us on the field. When you make that big play and you see everybody going crazy, I mean, it just lights you up and gets everybody ready to go. So it's a great feeling.
Any more questions for Dean? Thanks, Dean.
Thank you, guys.
Mobile, I guess. Yeah.
How you doing tonight, LeBron?
I'm doing good. Better than last night, honestly. Just knowing that I'm sleep better tonight, for sure, knowing that we got the win.
It's been about 3 or 4 games now where you've had game-saving play, whether it's interception or tackle or block. What goes into your mind when it's getting to the end of the game and it's in crunch time?
Just trying to make the play. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to go get the play. Let the play come to you. That's kind of been my mindset going into this season. Last season, I didn't have any turnovers, so that was a big emphasis, talking to the coaches to really turn the ball over on my end. But, yeah, going down the stretch, knowing that a play needs to be made, when it comes to me, just make it. And I've been making it, honestly.
You just seem to be always fired up out there. Looks like you're always having a lot of fun. How much does your personality rub off on your teammates?
It rubs off a lot. Knowing that the guys actually selected me to be the team captain just brings a lot of trust, knowing that I could be that vocal guy now, that our vocal leaders from last year is gone. So I just got to try to set the example, bring the energy. We had a bad first half on defensively wise, couldn't get off on third down and things like that. And halftime, we gotta try to make the adjustments. No pointing fingers. Just look ourselves in the mirror and just try to come out and try to limit their points.
During that third quarter where you guys go absolutely berserk, defensively, how do you guys kind of put it together to go, okay, the offense is flowing, we got to make sure we get them the football back as fast as possible?
I want to say it was our coaches letting us have it at halftime, knowing we were shooting ourselves in the foot, couldn't get off on third downs, and basically all their points came off of just our mental errors. Just like I said, shooting ourselves in the foot, knowing that we needed to get off the field so our offense could get their flow going, like you said, and it coming out in the third quarter, once the offense scored, we knew they was getting their mojo, and we just had to try to get off the field as much as possible.
Kind of going off what you're saying and the mistakes maybe that were made, how does that kind of go into your guys' mind saying, hey, if we play clean football, we can beat anybody that's in front of us? How much does that go into it?
That goes into it every play, honestly. Just knowing that you got to trust, like myself, knowing I got trust in 10 other guys on the field, that they're going to do their job and they're going to make their plays. It's really just the miscommunication that really be happening on the back, not even on the back end, just overall. And I hold myself to a standard that I look myself in the mirror like that's my fault. I feel like being that leader on the team, being that senior, being that captain, I need to make everything right. So when things is not going right, miscommunication wise, I feel like that's on me. I need to communicate more, and also bring the other guys along as well to be more vocal on the field.
Take last question for the ball here. As far as setting the example and playing a leadership role on this team, is it pressure that you feel, or does it motivate you in a positive way?
It was pressure in the beginning of the season, I should say, knowing I wasn't a vocal guy. But it's definitely motivating now for sure, especially when we got younger guys tuning up this last half of the season for the 4 games for the red shirt rule. Just those guys looking up, seeing me as their leader. Just me trying to bring that energy for people that's not having a good game, I should say, or people that's things are not going our way. I still need to just bring that energy for everybody to pick their chins up.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you guys.
How's that knee feeling?
Feels great.
Look right there, you just jumped off the stage.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Yes, sir.
Eric, congrats on the win. Your touchdown catch, pretty impressive, just the way that it was thrown and also the way that you were able to catch it with a guy that was smothered all over you.
I mean, we ran that play in practice, and we kind of got the same look. And Mikey, he hadn't seen it, so he had checked the ball down. So when we got that same look tonight, I knew that, he would see it this time when he put the ball up. And I jumped up to catch it. I'm like, I got to get a foot down somehow, some way, because that was a free touchdown. So somehow I got my toe down, but I had to get it, by any means.
How often do you practice that, putting your foot down on plays like that, where that's probably the last thing on your mind? You try to just catch the ball, but then you also have to keep in mind that you need to stay in bounds?
I think we practice that probably. So when we do our field goal block period, we have a 5-minute block where it's just the receivers and running backs, and we just work on sideline catching and stuff like that, like toe drags, toe taps. So, we do that about 2 times a week, every single week. So it's routine now.
Are you the best on the team when it comes to those drills? Like, is there a standard you can set?
I like to say I'm the best on it. You know what I mean? I'll probably say I'm the best at everything on the team. So.
And the last thing for you is the confidence on this offense. When you guys are struggling a little bit, how do you stay upbeat and stay confident that eventually will work out?
It's more of knowing that we're the ones stopping ourselves. Obviously, we started fast tonight, then we got off to a slow start in the second quarter and all that. But when we went into halftime, the message was really just, execute. We were only down 10 points, so it's not like we were, down by 40 and stuff like that. So we knew that we can just stress them vertical and get it going that way. And once we did that, the game blew wide open.
Coach Tepper mentioned this, how there were moments where UNLV would drop up to 6 and also up to 8 in coverage. I mean, did they do anything to kind of confuse you guys for a moment at all?
I just think we were being a little conservative at first. Just, the biggest thing, we tried to attack them vertical. We were trying to play and attack them too quick. So all their drop 8 guys were right there in those zones, kind of stopping us and taking away Mikey's reads. But once we started, stretching the field a little bit, those windows started to open up more and more and allowed us to get a flow going.
Kind of going a little bit off of that, looking at that fourth quarter for you guys, where offensively, that last drive where you're trying to get the first down, what goes through your guys' minds kind of going through those motions, knowing that you have to run the football, but maybe as a wide receiver, you're saying, hey, give me a chance to go up and get one and we can get this first down and end this thing?
I mean, yeah, you want the ball in those moments and stuff like that. But, I mean, we work on, backed up offense and stuff like that a lot. So we have a lot of trust in the play calls and that our O-line can, get us 10 yards because our goal right there is just to get a first down. So if we can do that, that's a good drive for us. Obviously, we didn't get one tonight. We were able to run a little bit of clock off, though, so that helped. But, yeah, I trust those guys. Even if the ball's not in my hands, I trust them to go out there and make a play.
You guys played Boise twice last year, but both were in Boise. What's it like to have a rivalry week here back in Fresno?
Oh, it's going to be great. We got to get our revenge. Last time they were here, they embarrassed us pretty bad. So being able to play in front of the Red Wave again and them have our backs, be loud like how they are in Boise, it'll be nice for that to happen.
All right, we're going to let you go. Thanks, ED.
Mm-hmm.